Hi, Skinner North. I'm Miss Oswald, and I'm here to read to you my favorite book called Airmail to the Moon by Tom Birdseye. Airmail to the Moon. My name is Ora Mae Cotton of Crabapple Orchard, and last night somebody stole my tooth. I'd been down at the creek catching crawdads when something started tingling, kind of like if you missed your toast and peanut butter and bit your teeth really hard instead. That was about 3 weeks ago. I was popcorn in the pan excited, for sure that tooth was gonna fall out any second. But Dad-all, that's what I call my daddy, always says not to milk the cow when she's asleep, which is crabapple orchard talk, for not blabbing to everybody about something before you know what you're blabbing about. So I didn't tell a soul. That's when last Monday, while fetching the mail at the county road, I stuck my tongue out at my pesky neighbor Marietta Bean and gave her a big raspberry like this. That vibration from my tongue flapping against the teeth popped that chopper of mine as loose as a goose on ice skates. So I told the world about my first tooth coming out, whether they wanted to hear it or not. By Thursday, that tooth was so wobbly, it was just hanging by one root in a flap of skin. I could push it all the way out between my lips and my tongue and help Mama slap the hogs at the same time. Oreo! Mama said to me, Oreo is my nickname. That's just the sweet cookie I am. Don't flap that tooth over while you're working. It reminds me of your cousin Cyrus before he got braces. So I kept the tooth inside my mouth, whirring like mad with my tongue. Then Friday night, right after my big brother Bodine and my little sister Kelsey Ann got into a fight at the dinner table whether Arlene Peterson's pigs really kneel and pray before they eat, that loose tooth of mine fell right out of my mouth and plop right into the middle smack dab of my spaghetti. Mama said to be sure and put that tooth under my pillow. That way the tooth fairy could come and get it and give me some money. Money! Shoot! Mama didn't say how much, but I figured it had to be at least $1,000. Or maybe even $100. I was just so excited that I hurried to bed as quick as a dropped cat just so I could dream about all the things I was gonna buy. But, like I said, somebody stole my tooth. So, I guess I dreamed all night for nothing. First thing this morning when I discovered the crime, I ran lickety-split to my mama. She was in the root cellar up to the elbows in rutabagas. Mama! I cried. Is the tooth fairy a crook like good old Hester Jenkins that stole the parking meter from out in front of the county courthouse? Mama jumped back, eyes as big as sausages. Why no, Oreo. The tooth fairy is as honest as flowers in the spring. That's what I thought, I fumed. When then somebody besides the tooth fairy stole my tooth. Somebody so crooked that they screw their socks on every morning. And when I catch 'em, I'm gonna open up a can of gotcha and send 'em airmail to the moon. Mama looked at me real hard. Oreo, she said, I don't think anybody would steal your tooth. Maybe the tooth fairy's putting it on a string with the other teeth, like make a beautiful necklace. That's what I thought I've heard. She does. She probably forgot to leave you some money and will remember tonight. That didn't seem likely to me. What good is a tooth fairy that forgets? Why don't you go ask your daddy, Mama suggested, seeing how upset I was. Maybe he knows something that I don't. Aha, I thought. He's a real thinker, my dad-all is. Why, he even sells watermelons to the grocery store. He knows mighty near everything. I heard Dad-all before I spied him. He was out by the tires, shaving and singing at the same time, which is mighty dangerous if you ask me. Half of his face was shaving cream. The other half was as smooth as a baby's belly, he liked to say. Dad-all! I yelled. Some crook stole my tooth. And when I catch him, I'm going to open up a can of gotcha and send him airmail to the moon. Dada looked at me real hard. Oreo, he said, I don't think anybody would steal your tooth. Maybe the tooth fairy has it and is grinding it up in a big old machine. That tooth dust might come out as money. Then the tooth fairy could use it to buy you some real estate, like one of them condominiums down in Miami Beach. Dada sauntered over to the back porch steps and sat down. He was thinking about the tooth fairy, money machines, and condominiums, I figured. It was a whole who'd have thought to me. What would I do with a condominium in Miami Beach? Yeah, tooth dust, Dada said. Tooth dust, I shouted. But Dada, somebody stole my tooth. Dada rubbed his chin and nodded. Why don't you go ask your brother? He usually knows more than what he thinks, what he tells. I thought. Heading for the barnyard, my brother Bodine is ornery as a bull in a beehive, and he lost 2 teeth last week when he fell out of the hayloft. I'll betcha he knows who stole my tooth, or maybe he even stole it and glued it right back into his mouth. I'm going to get that boy, I vowed, and when I do, I'm going to open up a can of gotcha and send him airmail to the moon. I didn't steal your tooth, Oreo, Brother Bodine said, calmly crawling out from under the corn crib. What would I want to do with a girl tooth? They don't fit into boys. I hadn't thought of that. Are you sure you didn't just give it to the tooth fairy, no money down? Why would I do such a thing? I demanded to know. That's stupid. Bodine eyed his henhouse. He was looking for his pet snake Fluff. That tooth fairy saves teeth that gives them to babies, right, Oreo? Not according to Mama and Dada, she don't. Well, according to me, Bodine Cotton, she does. That's so they can chew on rocks and shoes and stuff. Bodine, you're ornery, I reminded him, talking about babies like that. Yep, he whispered, and he snuck into the henhouse door. But I'm right. Where do you think Sister Kelsey Ann got her teeth when she was little? Aha, I thought. Maybe Bodine has a point. Kelsey is as ornery as Bodine plus 10. She had to be the one that stole my tooth. I'll get that little diddle-do, I said. The tooth fairy, Bodine asked, sticking out his head out of the chicken house, Fluff in one hand, scared hairy chickens squawking and flying everywhere. No, Kelsey Ann Cotton, I snapped. And when I do, I'm going to open up a can of gotcha and send her airmail to the moon. Kelsey Ann Cotton, I yelled up the backyard apple tree. Give me my tooth. I know you stole it. Pig feathers, she said, hanging upside down from her knees on a tree limb. I'm as sweet as roses in the snow. The tooth fairy steals teeth, not me. She makes them into doorknobs. Didn't you know that, Oreo? Not according to Mama and Dada, or Bodine, she doesn't. You took it, I shrieked. She does not, because I didn't, Kelsey Ann said. Does not, you did. Does not, I didn't. Does not, you did. Kelsey Ann giggled. I'll bet you threw it away, Oreo. It's probably in the bottom of the garbage can stuck in the middle of a blob of leftover spaghetti. That's how forgetful you are. That tooth will never be a doorknob. That did it. I was so mad. I was ready to scream. Nobody really knew what the tooth fairy was up to. Nobody was a bit of help, and nobody was the lop-eared rascal that stole my tooth. I was just about to pop my cork clean of Crabapple Orchard. That's how mad I was. But instead, I stood there looking at my upside-down sister, and I started crying, loud and long, big tears streaming down my face, tasting like salt. I didn't want to cry, but I just couldn't stop. Now, we Cottons banter, shout, squabble, and argue at one another a fair amount, just like any self-respecting family. But if it ever comes to a cotton bawling real tears of grief, the rest of the family come a running to help in a howdy-ho flash. Dada, Mama, Bodine, Kelsey Ann, and even my little pesky neighbor Marietta Bean were all at my side in about 5 seconds flat. Somebody stole my tooth, I sobbed, crying harder than ever. And when I catch 'em, I'm gonna open a can of gotcha and send 'em airmail to the moon. And I stuck my hands down deep in my pockets, trying to look like I meant it. My name is Orme Cotton of Crabapple Orchard. My face is hot. My toes are curling. And right now, I feel like a possum up a plum tree. I'm as embarrassed as a zebra without stripes. You see, there's this little hard thing at the bottom of my pocket. It's right where I left it. I wonder if the tooth fairy ever sends motor mouth kids like me airmail to the moon.